Hello Zodiacs, we are going to do something a little bit different for the weekly readings this week simply because I am pumping out the monthly Practically Soulful messages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how to timestamp on YouTube, so it's one big video for everyone and then your zodiac sign will be listed with where your time in the video starts, okay? It's going to be an infusion of a theme. It will be including some crystal therapy suggestions with a crystal card, a soul message, and some practical placements about where that might be happening within your life, within your experience, thanks to the tarot. Okay, so we are going to kick it off for the weekly reading for week beginning. Goodness me, what date is it? I don't even know what date it is this week. Let me look it up. I'm so sorry. I'm in Australia, so it's Thursday the 9th, but Monday was the 6th. Okay, don't mind me. Is anyone else like, what day, what month, who, where are we? Literally just had a mind warp. I know we've just had a super full moon and they're falling within the first 2 weeks of the months. How I time everything through the cosmos. How are you meanwhile? Are you okay after the super full moon? Because I'm not. I have a moon sign in Libra. We had a super full moon in Libra, guys. That was... So Libra is the balancing, okay? It's the only archetype within the zodiac that isn't of form. So what does that mean? It's a symbol. It's the scales. And if you want to even tie it into mythology, it is the scales of Mat when we pass over. You know, the story and theory behind the weight of a soul compared to the weight of a feather, and how that is balanced at the day of judgment and reckoning for how we have lived our life and what we carry, what we have carried, what we have hidden, what we have, you know, our transgressions, our healing and our gifts to the world and our time here. So the scales are all about walking through the pillars of judgment. And any Libra can sort of attest to this, that they spend their whole life born unto this deeper wisdom, deeper knowing of everything, needing to somehow align to cosmic balancing, cosmic order, whether in themselves, you know, on the micro or macro levels, needing to be the harmonizer, the bringer of harmony. It is karmically balanced, and it is a law that exists as a deeper knowing within all of us. We all intrinsically know the difference between right and wrong, regardless of if laws exist, okay? So there is a connection between humans that is empathic, for the most part, you know. And it can be burned out, it can be snuffed out by all means. I don't doubt that. But there is an intrinsic knowing within all of us that there is a balancing and that there is a right and wrong path, you know, for us all. So the Libra super full moon was very much about a distinct contrast of circumstance, for example, and what we want, you know, what we need, what we want, external reality and our individual perception and opinion on what's going on, knowing that we must follow rules, feeling completely frustrated by the circumstances in which that encompasses. Like it's a huge super full moon, and you know, all moons are married up to the previous cycle that came before them. So we kicked off end of March was it, with a new moon in Aries. So that was like, right, here we go, this is what we're doing, this is the game plan, you know, sudden reality, all of us find ourselves in. And it's not until we got to the Libra super full moon that we perhaps got a chance to catch a breath. You know, it's like when change happens, we just react. There's this adrenaline that exists within us on a mind level, on an emotional level, on an energetic level, that we just respond in survival mode perhaps, and we respond in the moment, react, whatever the case may be. That's not until we get to sit with it that we determine, how does it make us feel? How do I feel now? So that's what this super full moon has been about. It was about that glaringly obvious, right, this is life now. This is what life is going to look like for a while. This is the reality of, you know, and depending on who you're talking to these days, you know, everyone's dealing with it in their own unique ways. The struggle is real. So too are super moons. So super full moon, you know, it's right there. It's orbiting so close to Earth. It's so close to Earth, and so too is the energy that was trying to get our attention and standing up in our face. So that's where many are coming from. It's also that energy that happens after a big yell, a big cry. Many of us will be relaxing into that sort of a vibe now, where we're processing the intensity of that super full moon. Here's my personal opinion, and now please know that this is, you go take what resonates and leave the rest. For over a year now, nearly 2 years, I've been advising my clients to not particularly work directly with moon energy, simply this, particularly full moon energy. Got a message from a lovely friend the other day, and just like, why do I feel like this? Why do I just did a meditation under the full moon, and look, that's not discounting the fact that there's a lot of collective energy going on at this stage, okay? So a lot of us are experiencing awakening symptoms, ascension symptoms, whatever that means for you. The Schumann resonance is vibing pretty high, so you know, collectively we're all feeling a lot of upgrade energy and deep releases and transformations. But when it comes to moon energy now, I know it's out there a lot in mainstream to work with full moons and release under full moons, and something I guess I've intuitively felt for a very long time. If everyone's releasing under a super full moon, and as an intuitive sensitive that can feel the collective energy, it's not right for me. I go into my little crab shell and I stay the hell away from it. That's why a lot of the meditation classes I've done, I time them days, a week before a moon, whether it's a new moon or a full moon, particularly the full moons. And and a lot of my clients I've worked with, you know, they know that I time my healings around new moons, which is the 24 hours before a new moon is that divine feminine energy. It is a trip into the cosmic womb. It's deeply healing and transformative, you know. And then we are infused with that burst of new moon energy, okay? So that is the darkness, that is the release energy, that is my personal opinion, that is ideal to work with. I am very much a child of the sun and sun upgrades. So in place, if this resonates with you, like I said, I'm a very big believer in encouraging everyone to follow their own intuition, their own inner wisdom. So only take what resonates and you leave the rest. Do what works for you. I've never liked it when people tell me what to do, so I practice the same belief. But as a suggestion, and something I've been doing for a very long time and I talk to clients about, is working with the energy of the sun. And this is ancient, an ancient practice that was introduced to me by my daughter when she was about 2 or 3 years old. And I think I've shared it on my Facebook page a little bit about how much indigo has very much been, you know, my greatest guide in my awakening journey. The things that she was telling me and the things she used to speak about, and it's not something a child would know. So I could talk all day about it, but just to give you an example, it was my young daughter, who she wasn't even quite 3 yet, that was telling me that I should, oh no, she would have been 3.5, telling me to, you know, work with the sun energy and to put my palms up to the sun, to connect, she said, your other eye. She used to call it your other eye. and she used to call me a healer long before I chose to actually set up shop and practice energy healing. So at the time I was working within a hospital in marketing and business development for a charity, and in her little mind she used to think that I was, like, I thought she used to think that I was a doctor or a nurse or something, because she used to call me a healer that helped kids. So as it would pan out, I definitely am a healer that is very much drawn to working with empaths, sensitives, intuitives, those that identify as indigo, crystal, rainbow children, the new children that are being born into the world, you know, and definitely parents that are, or carers, teachers, whoever the case may be. A lot of my clients seem to resonate with that little message that kicked off from my daughter. So sun energy, I highly recommend it. It completely transforms, it completely recalibrates, and there is a lot of sun coding that comes through if you identify as someone that is open to connecting into the 5D elements of our upgrades collectively. The sun has been changing. How it is visibly taken in by us is changing. What it does to us from an energy healing point of view, I'll always say to clients, the most basic thing you can do is listen to solfeggio frequencies, which are free, and you can work with the early morning sun rays and the late afternoon sun rays for your healing. I'm not about to go and tell anyone to stand under the midday sun. I know that we have health regulations and guidance provided by authorities for that stuff. However, my personal belief is work with the sun rays. Work with the sun rays. Do not put your crystals out under a full moon, because you'll be working with that for a whole month and it's absorbed everyone's stuff, because you too are a crystal. If you are sensitive, you too are connecting into the collective energy. So our tools are great and all, but we are our greatest tool. The way in which you connect to your energy, the way in which you understand how your energy responds to your environmental stimuli, collective stimuli, planetary and cosmic stimuli is relevant, okay? It all weaves a thread, paints a picture, and ultimately is the fabric and fibre of your being. So don't go meditate under a full moon, and good golly gosh, don't meditate under a super full moon. That's just my personal belief and opinion. However, being conscious, educating ourselves and understanding what to expect in the lead up to that energy for every planetary placement, not just moons, is deeply valuable, okay? I'm very passionate about connecting in to the 4 pillars, okay? So the 2 solstices and the 2 equinoxes, and everything outside of that is about the planetary placements that tell a story. The moons are great, but however, the sun is life force, yeah? It is our vitality. If it wasn't there, we wouldn't be here. So if you want to feel vitality, if you want to burn away heavy energy and density, if you want clearing and balancing, work with the sun. It is what grows us. So essentially, on a soul and energetic level, it will grow you. Okay? Okay, Zodiacs, weekly reading time.